Welcome back to another episode of MPBF Radio 20.92 The Shoe, brought to you by Absolutely Nothing. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about tonight's game and the series against the Marlins. I'm going to discuss my lineup, what I think it should be, and the All-Star game. Stay tuned. Welcome into the Friday edition of MPBF Radio. I'm Doc Holliday, and I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about this Marlins series that the Braves are heading into. We had great success against the Marlins at the beginning of the year. Remember, we swept them. Beat them 2-1, 12-2, 2-0. Boom. Marlins, they retooled their lineup, their entire roster, all this hype. We, on the other hand, kind of gave everybody away to retool, to prepare for 2017, new ballpark in that season. And we just came in, swept them. It was amazing. It was great. Really pumped up, and the Marlins, they just were blindsided by this, not expecting anything at all. And then following week, they actually took 2 out of 3 from us. The good thing is the wins were all started by our 1, 2, 3 starters. And this series that starts tonight starts off with Julio Teheran. Then tomorrow night is Alex Wood, followed up by Shelby Miller, our 1, 2, 3 starters. I'm really excited about this series for that fact alone. Tonight, Julio Teheran faces off against David Phelps. Now, we saw David Phelps back at the early of the year, April 7th. He actually came in and pitched some relief ball. He got 2 outs, but he also gave up 2 hits. He had one other relief appearance against the Tampa Bay Rays. He didn't do so hot. He gave up a bunch of runs, 4 runs. And then they turned him into a starter. So he's had 5 starts, and his last 4 are incredibly solid starts. He's only given up 6 earned runs. Fantastic. I'd take that. I don't know about I would. His ERA sits at 2.90 right now. And he can get strikeouts. But he will give up hits. Like we saw earlier in the season, he will definitely give up hits. So I think one of the keys to beating David Phelps tonight, our offense needs to get on him and get on him early because he'll give up hits. If we can make him work a little bit, it's definitely going to bode well for us. And Julio Teheran, he definitely needs to return to his number 1 form. He needs to turn it around for us. He's the anchor. We know Shelby Miller has been doing really well this season for us, but Julio Teheran is the one that we need to lean on. He needs to turn it around for sure. We're also facing Matt Latos in this series. He's not doing so hot. He's 1-3 with a 4.72 ERA. Alex Wood, though, unfortunately, has a 4.28 ERA, so he's not too far behind. That should be a good matchup. Both those pitchers need to improve. And then we've got Shelby Miller facing off against Tom Kohler. Tom Kohler, he's kind of in the same boat as Wood and Latos. He's got a 4.62 ERA. He needs to have another impressive start, kind of turn his season around a little bit. Shelby Miller, he's no surprise and no secret either. 4-1, 1.60 ERA. Definitely pitching incredible right now. So I'm looking forward to that game. We should be able to sneak out. At the rate everybody's pitching right now, we should be able to get a guaranteed win out of that third game. It's up to our number 1 and our number 2 pitchers to turn it around to grab possibly 2 wins. Like I said, we've taken a series sweep against the Marlins. It can happen again. One of the keys, though, to making sure that we don't get a loss here is we must slow down D. Gordon. His stats this year are phenomenal. He's had 136 batting plate appearances in 32 games, and he's flashing a ridiculous 426 right now. 426. That's not oh, I had a couple of bats here and then I sat out a bunch. No. He's hitting 426 right now. That's what I want out of my leadoff production for sure. For sure. No question about it. And we all know about his speed. He's got 12 stolen bases. The only problem is he's got 7. He's been caught 7 times. So he's either not getting some jumps right or not reading something, but there is something there we can maybe take advantage of. Tonight, though, Julio Teheran. Are we going to see another pickoff? I mean, this guy's insane. I love watching it. He's so good, you can be expecting the pickoff, and he'd still beat you. He's that good. It's amazing. I love I love it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. MPBF Radio. Doc Holliday back here with you on MPBF Radio. I don't know if you heard the interview the Double D and I had with Lito the other day. We gave our lineups, who we think should hit where if we were the skipper. I'm going to dig into mine a little bit. I said Markakis should lead off, followed by Simmons, Freeman in the 3-hole, Chris Johnson cleaning up, with A.J. Przinsky, Kelly Johnson, Maben, and Peterson following. So that's my 8. Unfortunately, as you are probably well aware, there are some injuries, and that lineup actually couldn't happen at the moment. We've got Chris Johnson out, Kelly Johnson out. My replacements for both of those gentlemen, Johnny Gomes. He's going to replace Kelly Johnson. He's going to hit cleanup. And Kayaspo is going to fit in the 6-hole. He's going to take over third for Chris Johnson. So that leaves us with Markakis, Simmons, Freeman, Johnny Gomes hitting cleanup. And I'm going to stop right there for a second. Johnny Gomes has incredible power. And he's shown it with the Boston Red Sox. His pinch hitting home run ability was, we're familiar with Evan Gattis doing something very similar. I feel like you've got to utilize that power a little bit more than we have been doing. I would have him hitting cleanup, driving in some runs. Freeman's going to be on base. There's somebody to drive in. That makes a lot of sense to me. A.J. Przinsky, now, I understand he's brought in to back up. And we need to get Bethancourt. We need to see what Christian can do. Either way, I'm going to have the catcher hitting 5th. I want to put some pressure on Bethancourt. He needs to improve his bat. Hitting in the 5-hole might do him some good. Put a little heat on him, make him a little focused on that. He needs to focus on his glove work as well. He's got a lot of fastballs, passed balls. If you remember at the end of last year, it was just staggering how many were piling up. So he's got to improve both sides of his game, but his bat needs to come along. It's about time. We've heard enough about him to expect him to produce now. Kayaspo, he's going to bat in my 6th hole. I like the fact he doesn't strike out. He struck out the least amount of times last year. I like the fact that he puts the bat on the ball. If the 3, 4, 5 guys are doing their job, Kayaspo putting the ball in play, there's some production opportunities right there. Maben got some power, still needs to figure it all out. 7th hole for him, and Peterson, who is pretty much a singles guy. I think that top 8, that 8 right there would be what I would do if I was the skipper. Double D's lineup, you might have to go listen to the previous show. Didn't agree with his and Lito's, but we want you to check them out. Maybe give us your lineup as well. You can always email the show, mpbf.wp@gmail.com. mpbf.wp@gmail.com. You can always ask questions or drop your lineup, give us your feedback, that sort of deal.